Hello, this is the second tutorial to help you remember how to use Google Scholar for the other research if you decide this is what you'd like to use. So remember, you go to google.com, type in Google Scholar and click on it, and it should bring you to a screen that looks like this. It's really important that you're logged into your school account, which here at school you should be, but when you're at home, just make sure that you're logged into your SAU account so that it saves to the appropriate place. The other tab that you should have open is EasyBib. So any articles that you find on here, you can immediately transfer to EasyBib as needed. So to begin the search, it's a little less complex than EBSCO. You simply type in Ivory Trade. Once again, that's my example, that's my go-to. And what's nice about this is Google Scholar, just a reminder of how the features work. One, you want to do the same thing that you would do in EBSCO, which is you want to scan down the titles, but you have to be careful. The only articles that you can access full text for free are the ones off to where you see this off to the right. So anything that says HTML or PDF means that that's the full article. If it is blank, it means that it's just a title and you cannot use it because it's just a title. It's not going to help you in any way. So as you're looking for titles, make sure that off to the side you see this PDF HTML, or else you won't be able to access the full article. So the same thing that you did with Google, or I'm sorry, with EBSCO, you're going to scan down and any articles titles that seem of interest, you're going to click on the star. When I do that, it will actually add it to my library. When I click on my library, I will see the appropriate titles as needed. The other thing that this will do is if you click on the little quotation marks, that's the citation. You're going to notice that there is no export to EasyBib. So you're going to have to take piece by piece from Google Scholar and put it into EasyBib. You would cite this as a journal article, and you would take each piece appropriately, starting with the last name, first name, and just copy and paste those pieces into EasyBib and then create the citation. Please do not forget this step. It is so important. And then if I were to use this article, so if I click on the article to open it up, it will take me to the appropriate article. And from here, I would begin reading. My critique to you would be this: before you start, it's actually going to give you an abstract as well. Most of them should do this. And before I open the PDF, I should read the abstract and determine, is this an article that I want to use, just like you did with EBSCO? If it is, then I would create another doc in Google, a different one, and I would call it Article 2 or Article 1, and I would start putting any notes that relate to just this article. The reason why I'm telling you to do that is if you have all of your facts in one big article, or one big doc, I should say, you may lose track of what information came from what source. And it's going to make your life super complicated if you can't figure out where you got a fact from. You're unable to use it, no matter how good the fact is. If you have no citation, it's plagiarism, it's a zero. So if I decided this was an article I wanted, then I would go to the PDF and it would open up another screen and it would open up an article that I could use appropriately. All right. So just to click back, I would then decide what the other feature of Google Scholar is. Remember, look at how many articles cited it. If it was cited by one article, it's probably either really brand new or not really going to be helpful with research. The more articles that cite it, the more it means that this study is probably something that's valid and something I should think about if it relates to my thesis. The other thing that's pretty cool about Google Scholar is it'll go to related articles. It'll actually look for articles that have some correlation with that other article. So Google is actually helping you find other titles that could build on the research of whatever this person was talking about. That's a new feature and something that I hope you take advantage of. So once you decide you're going to use an article and you start taking notes, put those quotes and citations in a Google Doc. Make sure you put it into EasyBib. And if you put a star, it will save it to your library, and you can click on your library, and any titles that you starred should show up there. So remember, you start with the title, then you would go to your library and you would do the same thing you did in EBSCO. You'd open it up, read the abstract, determine if it's useful, cite it, and then begin taking notes. So hopefully this is helpful to remind you how to use Google Scholar. Remember to watch the EBSCO one as well. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. Good luck on research. And remember, by Friday, 2 sources should be found and notes should be starting to be taken based on the thesis. And if you haven't already, please email me your thesis and question, or else you'll start losing points for the first check-in that I'm going to grade this week. Good luck.